Hi, this is Flash from the United Handyman Association with Handyman Answers. So today's video, I wanted to talk about the first tool you need to become a handyman. So you might be thinking I'm going to talk about, one of the most important things would be like your drill, your screw gun. That's something you're going to want with you every time you go anywhere because you're not going to want to be turning a screwdriver. But this video is not about tools. I'm sorry to disappoint some of you that were going on trying to figure out if there was some magical tool that I was going to talk about. This video is about another tool, okay? And that tool relies and it like sits in a layer of your brain somewhere. So the very first tool that I believe you need through my experience before you become a handyman and you actually open up a handyman business. And that tool is that desire, that ability, that you need to recognize that any craftsman can go get a job with a contractor or another handyman and perform the work. But in order to be successful in this business, you have to be able to have the business mind that understands that half of your job and probably 3/4 of your job is dealing with customers. It's invoicing, because you could be the best craftsman in the world, but if you're not handling your business properly, you will not be successful in any business, let alone a handyman business. Now, the reason it's important for a handyman is, a lot of guys are really good. They're really good with their hands, they're really good with tools, and they're really good with the jobs, but they just can't get to the point where they can be good with customers, or they can be good with the business part of it, the office part of it. Over the years, I've struggled with that. I get behind on invoicing. I get overwhelmed because they just compile, and when I'm doing it by myself and I'm controlling and I'm not wanting to delegate anything, it gets overwhelming, and as good as I was and am working and doing it and considering myself the best in the trade, and go to Home Depot and win every time I try with the drill, the little competitions and whatever. As much as I prided myself on being the best at figuring things out, figuring out a gas leak or a mold problem or a water leak or whatever it is, thinking outside the box and just being that true like craftsman. As much as I was that, there were areas that I fell short where I would be, I would be at a point where I'd be like, so far behind on invoicing, my customers would be like, oh my gosh, just like invoice me weekly, invoice me, the day you leave, whatever, just send me a text message, So the business part of it for invoicing, or the business part of it for just talking to a customer, just, being able to communicate here to them. Communicating what you're doing for the job, communicating how you're going to do it, communicating, some customers will hire you based on just believing that you know what you're doing. And if you can't express yourself, it doesn't matter if you actually know what you're doing. If they don't believe it, you're not going to get the job. They need to believe in you. You can be the best in the world, but if you can't portray that because you're just lacking that, it's gonna be difficult for you to run a successful business. People just aren't gonna believe in you if they don't see it and they don't hear it and they don't get that from you. Some of the best guys that I've had working for me, they tried to do it on their own. They were awesome. They were great. They were good workers. They knew what they were doing, but they recognized at some point that they fell short in the area of actually running a business, and decided that, it was a lot easier for them to go to bed at night not thinking about the business, okay? Not thinking about the business, going to bed at night, waking up the next morning, and go to work for someone else that's up all night thinking about the business. They came to the decision that they were better suited to work for a contractor, work for another handyman. So the very first tool you need is the desire and the ability to do the business part of it. Now, I'm not saying you can't learn, because you can, and I will be doing coaching with you. I am helping you with your startup. I'm helping you with do the business part of it. I am a resource. The United Handyman Association is a resource for you to help you get through those things based on all of the experience and all of the challenges and all the mistakes and all the wins that I've had over the years. I help you and I work with you and we help you through that. So I'm not saying you can't do it and you can't learn it if you aren't there right now. But eventually, the tool you need to do or need to have to be successful is that mindset and being able to communicate with your customers. You could go out and be like, oh my gosh, if you think DeWalt's the best tool, I have all the best tools. My tools are pristine. They are amazing. They are the best tools in the industry. But if you don't have this tool, then none of those other ones matter. So that is the most important tool right here. Most important tool you can have before you start your business, or at least work on this to be successful. This is Flash with Handyman Answers. Happy home repairs. Bye. Thank you. If you're still here watching, I really appreciate you. So anyway, comment below, like, subscribe. See ya. Bye.